Good. Getting a little bit fresh up here, brother.
Oh, mate, didn't that temperature drop?
Yep.
Hey? Oh, look.
I'm just going to bring our special guest in, brother. He's here ready to come in. So
All right, wait.
let you talk it away.
Yeah, okay.
Just got a notification.
Coming in now.
Here he is.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, mate, how are you, Dion?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good on you, mate. Yeah, no, thanks for joining us, brother. You know Jack, don't you?
I do know Jack. Yes, no problem.
Yeah. You can see him now, Dave.
I can't see him on the feed, mate, but that's all right.
It's probably not such a bad thing either, brother.
That's probably a good thing.
Well, I've always been told I've got a face for radio, so I probably need to, probably need not to see my face either, but that's all right.
No,
good. Mate, if he's making faces, I'll let you know, bud.
All right, mate. Thanks for that.
So how you going, Dion? It's been nearly 5 or 6 weeks of this COVID thing.
Yeah, look, Charlie, been going all right, mate. Look, the important thing is that, this curve we're talking about is starting to come down, and I think that's the most important thing. Look, I've been doing more jobs around the house than I have done in 5 years I've lived in my house, so I suppose that's a good thing. But
that is a good thing, mate. Yeah.
Up in one of those jobs, mate. So the more important thing is obviously the health of everyone.
Yeah. Hey, listen, before we go any further, I want to say, pay our respects to the traditional owners of the country we're on at the moment. So, for me, it's the Yugambeh and Bunjalung people of the south of the Gold Coast and further south down towards Grafton, that sort of area. And also for all those people joining us, I guess, wherever they're from, wherever their country is, then certainly, definitely, we pay our respects to you guys as well. And hope you, those guys are listening in. Hope you get something out of tonight's session. Dion is our guest, and he's been, I've known him for some years now, and we've worked together quite a lot over that time, and get to know him pretty well. And your country, mate, where's that?
Look, I'm actually living here in Redcliffe at the moment, so we're probably classed here at Gubby land. So I acknowledge those traditional owners there, but I'm originally a Waka Waka boy. I grew up in Wandai out near the Sherburg Mission there, and that's where I claim as my mob. Yeah.
You got family still out that way?
Mum and Dad still live in our family home, mate. And look, I was fortunate to see them last week. It was great to see them, but for an unfortunate reason, this whole COVID-19 thing's going on, and we're all in lockdown. But life still goes on. And my old man had actually had a heart attack last week, so that's why I was able to see him. He was brought down to the PA down here in Brizzy, but unfortunate way to see him. But life still goes on, mate. He's all good, thank goodness.
Oh goodness, mate. Yeah.
No good at all, brother. How is he now?
That's the thing, Jack. Life hasn't stopped just because we've all stopped, and maybe not going to work or our usual activities. Life still trundling away and just getting on with things. So in an unfortunate way, it was still great to see my mum and dad. And my dad is on the mend now, and hopefully it'll be good for some time to come.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, good to hear. Let Mr. Bird know that. Well wishes, mate, and hopefully.
Absolutely.
He'll be bouncing on, I guess. He'll be bouncing back.
Yeah, he'll be right.
Good on him, mate. It's we talked about this last week a little bit about making sure we're looking after family and friends. But certainly, that situation there is cause for a lot of support for the old fella, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I suppose it's one of those things. I was just said to him I was glad it happened at home and not somewhere else, so driving or even, out on the golf course. So that was a fortunate thing. But I don't suspect he's the only one that's had this happen to him during this whole COVID-19. So, my thoughts go to everyone that's been suffering with the virus themselves, and also all the other things that go on in life as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah. So, how are the family, mate? How are they holding up okay in your place?
They're going all right, mate. I don't know if they like their home school teacher too much, but things are good, mate. You know, it's I think we've all got that little bit of cabin fever and want to get out and do some stuff, but you know, we just got to, you know, hold ourselves back a little bit at the minute.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your work, Dion.
Well, yeah, look, mate, I like Charlie said, last sort of, near on 5 years, I was working with Charlie there at the Institute for Urban Indigenous Health with that men's mental health program, Momentum. And, look, one of a better way of putting things, I sort of got itchy feet and was ready to move on at the end of February, which turned out to be terrible timing, Jack. But decided to go out on my own, doing a lot of mental health stuff. Mental health training in particular, mental health first aid. So hopefully once this all clears up, be able to get back into all that. And look, as you probably all know, it's probably vital at this time now, that mental health training. So not only checking in on family members and other friends, and it's going to hit people hard, I think.
Definitely, mate.
And I think you're spot on with what you're saying too, Dion. You know, like for a lot of us, you know, like me myself, I've been struggling a little bit of late as well. Bit of anxiety and that sort of stuff, and with the uncertainty that you know, that life is bringing us, I guess. You know, I know. And the thing is that we're all in this together, and if we stay together and stick together, we can come through it. You know, but it is hard times for some of us. You know, so.
Yeah, it is, mate. Look, I obviously excited to move into a new sort of venture on my own and go, you know, doing some things different, totally different. Different to what I was doing, instead of the regular 9 to 5 and delivering training to community and all that sort of thing, and to have that sort of just to stop all of a sudden has been a shock. But the important thing is that we keep going forward and just keep staying positive about it, I think.
Yeah.
It will end. That's the important thing, is it will end. And I think, Jack, for you, the anxiety is coming from we don't know. We don't know when. We don't know what our lives will look like going forward. And I think that's obviously creating a lot of anxiety with everyone.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, you know, like for us, it's the uncertainty. You know, we want to be back working, but we want everyone to be healthy, wealthy, and, you know, wise as well. You know, so it's about sticking together to be able to gain that, I guess. So
yeah, that mind, body, and soul stuff, mate. I know that, you know, you're right, Dion, and I think that, you know, once this is all washed up, I suppose there are going to be a lot of people that, you know, have to start again, or you know, have to pick up the pieces. Some people might be in a bit of problem in terms of finance, and, you know, money coming in to buy the necessary things to live, I guess. And it'll become a stressful time, actually. You know, it is a stressful time now for a lot of people. And I think that the stuff that you're doing around the country, you know, with first aid mental health, for instance, is something that's going to be much needed, not only for our communities, but, you know, in general, I suppose all Australians need to, you know, be able to support each other, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think we've gone past the mental health as a buzzword. I think we've gone well past that now, and it's you know, identifiable. I think a long time people have said, you know, soft, weak, whatever, but it's now people are starting to identify, okay, that's their symptoms, their signs, their symptoms, and people are starting to deal with it a lot better. So, you know, it is a tough time. You know, it's probably almost even cliche now to say we're all going to get through it. We are, but how we come out the other side is all going to be different for everyone. So I just think it's important to try and stay positive, but also to try and be there for people when we can, when we do come out the other side of things.
Yeah.
And you touched on it before, brother, about the homeschooling. How's that going for you?
Yeah, look, I suppose from the teacher here, I mean, obviously my wife is still working, but the first day was a bit shaky. There was shouting and crying. I think that was just from the teacher.
I was going to say that.
No, but look, it's been good. I've got nothing but respect for the school. What I've got actually 4 kids, so my 2 oldest ones go to one school, and my 2 youngest ones go to a different school. And the teachers have done a great job in terms of organising schoolwork, getting it up to date, and and being on the ball. They're still going. They're sending us stuff for this week, today, and it's been pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah. Sounds like you're learning a bit as well, mate.
I think I am, Charlie. I've done a bit of schoolwork in the last couple of weeks that I've probably done more than I did when I was actually at school. But look, I suppose it's good for me to get a bit of insight what the kids are learning about as well at the same time, and actually to see how they learn. Like my youngest guy, Jacob, he was he was tears and uncertain and all the stuff about work, but he worked out by the end of the first week that if he got his work done, he could get on his Xbox or get on his his technology and all that sort of stuff. So they do evolve, and they do sort of adapt really quickly, kids.
Yeah, I think it must be a good thing that he doesn't have to wait till he gets home to do all that sort of stuff. He's already there, so he's.
Well, that's it. There's that, but I think it's it is what it is, and you know what, it could be. This could be the future. So going forward, there's a lot of us working from home. All that sort of stuff. So who knows, mate? But definitely, that what they miss is the social interaction.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we all miss that social interaction.
Definitely,
brother. Do you have a routine then? Is it like at school, where they have that little lunch and big lunch thing and all that type?
Yeah, look, definitely the older ones have got to sign into classes, so they've got an adjusted timetable. So they log on at about 9 o'clock. I think it is between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. And whatever their first lesson is, their teacher will be online. They've got to obviously log in and say, hi, miss or sir, whoever it is, I'm here. And then they'll do their class as normal. And that's throughout the whole day, so they'll finish at about their normal time. My younger ones at primary school, they basically log in, say hello to their teacher, but then get on with their work. So if they finish at lunchtime, that's their end of their school day. So, yeah, look, it's been interesting. And like I said, it's one of those things you've got to take in your stride and just get on with it, I think.
Yeah. I just had visions of the tuck shop, mate. And do you have a tuck shop at your house?
Funny enough, Charlie, me and my wife, we're trying to keep things, I don't know, realistic, fun at the same time. I think we could probably get down on things and making really strict headmaster sort of stuff, and you got to do your schoolwork, but we're trying to make it fun as well. So we actually had tuck shop at our house the other day, and pies and sausage rolls and custard cups and all that sort of stuff was on our menu. But it's about having a bit of fun with it at the same time. We would never normally get this opportunity, so we're just getting on with it, I suppose.
You do have that bit of fun, don't you, and that little bit of humour that goes with it as well. So because it's been so much change that's happened that you do have to fit that humour, that bit of laughter in with it as well, don't you? Oh,
definitely, mate. Look, we've dealt with we've used humour to deal with a lot of things that's going on in our lives, and we always will. I don't think that'll ever change. And I think I think once we start, if we can't see the funny side of things, then we need to sort of we need to go and talk to some other people. Yeah. And as much as this is terrible, people have lost their jobs and lost their lives, more importantly. But eventually, hopefully, we can always come out the other side and have a bit of a joke about it. And it eases the tension, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
You mentioned before too, Dion, about this could be the way of the future, with people working from home, and there's been a lot of change, but there is a lot of choice as well. You mentioned your young fella at primary school. If he's realised now, if he gets stuck into the work, well, then once he's finished that, he can get on and play his Xbox games and those sort of things. So there's been some good come out of it, with the change and the choices that we do make.
Oh, definitely, Jack. I think I keep thinking about there's not a lot of at the moment. There's probably not a lot of positives you can take out of things, right? So there's definitely a lot of negative, loss of jobs, sickness, death, etc. But I keep trying to think about what we can take away with it.
Yep.
And if moving forward, workplaces are more flexible with their home working arrangements for parents in particular. We mightn't be sending our kids to school with a snotty nose, so we won't be passing on those colds. Like I know for me as a parent, my kid won't go to school if they're vomiting or fever. Anything else up to that, we'd probably send them to school. So if employers are a little bit more flexible around those working arrangements, then we'd probably be encouraged to keep our kids at home. So you're not going to be spreading colds and all that sort of stuff. And there's also if places in general are cleaner because of hygiene restrictions, then that's going to be better for all of us, isn't it? Instead of getting on planes and you don't know who's sat in your chair and all this other kind of stuff, but you've gone on there and the airline's actually provided you with some wipes or whatever it might be to actually clean down your area. It's going to be better for all of us. So it's a difficult time to see some positive, but some of the takeaways I think we need to think about is stuff like that. Hopefully, more flexible working arrangements, some better hygiene. If I have to just wash my hands more, and that's the only thing that comes out of it, I think that's a bonus for all of us.
It is a little bit like that, getting back to the basics, like telling people that we need to wash our hands, telling people that we need to cough into our elbows and these sort of things. That's back to basics, really, isn't it? We should be doing it. So we need to keep doing that. I mean, and as you say, if that's all that comes out of it, well, so be it, So,
yeah. I think that's what's going on now, isn't it? With those relaxations, along with those relaxations, the government and, people in medicine and all that sort of stuff, they're actually saying, continue to do what you're doing, keep that 1.5 distancing, I suppose, and then also practice washing your hands and, coughing in the elbow. Make sure you're aware, conscious about what this, these messages are all about, I suppose. It's all about trying to not spread this COVID-19 all over the place. So, it's quite interesting that, even though we've got a little bit of relaxation, we've got to continue doing what we're doing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think like I know Mob and I know myself. I'm very, I'm tactile. I'll shake hands and I'll hug and I'll kiss. I think it's more now about not necessarily, once we get sort of the all clear, that I don't stop that practice. But the idea is that when I pull away and I go and put hand sanitizer on my hands, it's not offensive.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're a dirty person. What I'm doing is I'm just practicing personal hygiene now with all this going on, is that I still respect and love you and whatever it might be, but just, okay, we've kissed, we've hugged, we've shook hands. I just practice my personal hygiene now with some hand sanitizer, whatever it might be, and we get on with whatever's going on. And I think that's just what we all have to accept, I think, moving forward.
I think that's really well said too, brother. I think that is, it's not about being offensive or anything like that. It's just about, getting back to basics and learning to keep clean, I say. So, well said. So, yeah. We've got a few fellas on there, but I can't see whose names they are. But hello to everyone that's said good day to us. Silly brothers.
That's Patrick Wayne, mate. He said, hi, guys. Hello, Patrick. How are you, brother?
Hello, Bungie.
Cecilia, Mary Wright. How are you, Cecilia? Sean Yorton. Patrick Wayne is watching us as well. Patrick Lynch, Robinson, Joseph Uwe, Leon, Scotty Davis, and Kevin Thompson. He's a mate of mine. How are you, Kevin? How are you, bud? Good. And Dwayne Bannon. So
Dwayne there. Well, Dwayne's our guest on Friday, brother. So
yeah. So Dion, this is probably our second time we've had a guest on, and we've got to say that there's since we've been going, this is our fifth kind of session, I suppose, JB and me, and we're getting people from all over the country, which is fantastic.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and we're really talking about how we're surviving and how we're living with in these times with COVID-19. So. It's been really interesting to hear what you've, how your household's been running.
Yep.
You're cooking the meals, mate, are you?
Well, yeah, I am. A lot of them. Look, and that's just the way my household runs. It's my wife's working from 2 till 6 most days. So for her to be expected to come home at 6 o'clock and to get some food on the table would be it wouldn't be real good by me, especially if I've been home all day. So no, I'm in charge of the meals at the minute, mate. And, but look, it's all right. Look, I think it's important. And I've said this to you before, Charlie. It's important as men and as a father that my kids grow up knowing that cooking a meal is not necessarily a woman's job. It's a shared responsibility. And that doesn't stop in COVID-19, mate. You know, that we've still got to eat and do those things. You know, so I look, a lot's changed, but a lot of things haven't changed. You know, the way I carry myself around during the day is the same. And my kids are asked to show the same respect and to to get ready for their days each day, so they got a purpose. You know, it's not a case of, they do get their jammy days. You know, obviously they're getting up and doing schoolwork in their pajamas, but most of the time it's it's breakfast, brush your teeth, same sort of routines. You know, I think once we start getting out of those, then things are going to get a bit hairy.
Yes, I know. I don't know, how long this is going to go for. It, certainly it'll be testing times ahead, but I think it'll be also exciting to know that, someone just put up, we're taught to wash our hands and cover our mouths when we cough by our parents, when we were younger. And this is a good time now to sort of go back, like Jack says, go back to basics, continue to teach the young ones about how to do that. And it's going to be a funny world at the end of this, I suppose. I don't know when it's going to finish in terms of, the relaxation's all been, taken place, that, our young people, not necessarily our generation, but the young people will continue to practice this stuff. And that's the norm, which should have been the norm in the first place. But
yeah. And look, I agree with who put that message up. We have been all taught, but I think along the way, a lot of us forgot how to, do the basics about washing hands and coughing into our elbows and those sort of things. So I think it's just a little bit of a reset for us all and a reconnection and those sort of things. So, so as Dion said, I mean, that's if it comes to that, and that's what we've learned, I think that's fantastic. Also, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to, like we've just been talking about, cooking and all that sort of stuff. I just want to give a shout out to like our partners and our women that support us all the way with what we're doing, and like we wouldn't be here without them. So I just want to give them a big shout out too. So
yeah, I totally agree there, Jack. I'd jump on board there, and my wife's considered essential worker. She works up at the Redcliffe Hospital, and not only to her, we use humour again. I keep sending her out to get the COVID-19. I keep telling her, and I don't want to go to the shops, but she keeps going to work at the hospital, and so it's a big shout out to not only my wife and all the admin staff at the hospital, but all the frontline workers, the nurses, the doctors, ambulance workers that are right at the coalface and doing a tremendous job. So it's a big shout out to those guys as well, mate, as well.
Yeah, no, they're doing a fantastic job, mate. And in terms of our community as well, our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander, people out there that are, struggling with this as well. I know that there's quite a few working in the front line as well. So, take care, guys. Look after the mob, and hopefully we'll all get through. I think that's what we talked about. We're all in it together. We're no different. Kind of sort of brings us all back to square one.
But it is a big thing with our, as you say, Deon, with the frontline workers. We need to acknowledge and respect all that they're doing for us while they're in those positions. So yeah, well done again.
Yeah, but there's an interesting. I don't know who that is, but I will relay the message on to you blokes. And this fellow said it's thought he'd drop in to say how much he appreciates what we're doing. We haven't been able to hold a men's group in Hopewell for a few weeks now, and I think we as men are missing that type of contact with each other. But we've spoken with the police and the CEO of the council and have permission to recommence our meetings as long as we keep the social distancing, etc., back on track, hopefully. So what's up there in Hopewell?
That's not Johnny Riley, is it?
I think it might be John Riley. Yeah.
Hey, John, how are you, bro?
John Riley. Yep.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Oh, look, and Charlie, I think that's a great thing. Look, I think once we start go back, like I know myself and Jack in particular probably do a lot of stuff with community or try and do. And what we would normally hold as a workshop with, maybe 20 people in there and there's 5 or 6 or 7 people around the table. I think that was great in the past. I think now moving forward, we have to be a bit more innovative and say, all right, I'm not going to have 20 people, but I'm going to have 15 people in the room. And I'm going to have 4 tables where there's only going to be a minimum of or maximum of 4 people at each table. All this kind of stuff. And I think I don't think things should stop. So that men's group I'm glad that they've hopefully got the approval to go ahead with that, because you can still do that. We can all still stand 1.5, 2 meters away from each other and still talk to each other face to face and have that human contact instead of with what we're doing now and via the internet. So I think that's a really great step forward, and I think we all have to be just a little bit outside of the box as we go forward and how we're going to. I suppose, like myself, I'm what you would call a trainer now, freelance trainer, consultant sort of thing. Moving forward, I'm going to have to be like that. I'm going to have to go, well, look, Mom, I'm about your health as well as what I'm going to deliver to you. So I've got hand sanitizer, I've got wipes, we've got this social distancing happening anyway. Till we've all got the all clear, I think as a business, that's how we're going to have to roll out, mate.
Yeah. Dion, I reckon that those kind of practices, that kind of regime, if you like, is going to, outlive COVID as well. I think we'll continue to do that into the future. I think that's a really good way of doing things, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, yeah. I think Jack said before, we've just been given a total big wake up call, haven't we? We've been sort of, someone's grabbed us and given us a good old shake, and we've had to realise what where we've been has maybe not been the right way, and we've just got to change a little bit or pivot. I think it's been the word a lot of people use, pivot. We've got to go this way a little bit more,
And it really is about that reconnection, that reset, if you like. Like some people don't like change, but hey, look, this is what it is now. This is what we've been served up. So now we've got to live with it, and we've got to make sure that we make the right choices for our families and our mobs. So I reckon hats off to Charlie, to Hopevale Men's Group there for getting it back in there and mixing with community again. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
As Dion said before, like we all work in communities and we all love that community work. I mean, I miss it so much. I want it to come back, and I can't wait for it to come back. But yeah, Dion's right. Maybe it's going to be in that little bit different way that it's delivered now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you often wonder, us living down here in Southeast Queensland, I guess, wonder how things are happening in those remote areas like Hopevale and Arakoon and places up in the Territory, up in Gove there where you've been doing some work.
Yeah.
How they're going with this, and I know that a lot of those communities are being remote as well are probably a lot more. I don't know whether it'd be easier or harder to manage this particular environment. So it'd be good to hear about that from the guys up in Hopevale or wherever you are, if you're from a remote community, and how this is all playing out for you guys. So. It'd be good to hear from you guys about that. But thank you for that message up there,
Johnny Riley.
Yeah, absolutely, great stuff. Look, we're on here. I know that there's been a lot of people just join our Facebook page, I suppose, or group recently. But we're on here on a Monday and Friday, so don't forget to check in with us Monday and Friday. I'm always checking in with this fella over here, this Jackie Bullman, JB, to see how he's going. We kind of set ourselves challenges throughout the week, and also, kind of reflect on that when we catch up, I suppose. So weekend's just gone, and Dion, how was yours, mate? I want to know how your weekend went.
Oh, look, my weekend was pretty good. My little sideline gig's got a bit of a PT group going on. PT on like I said, my side hustle. So we decided, my daughter and I, that we'd do some Saturday morning workouts, live workouts for that little community. And I'll tell you what, this old fella's out of shape. The old lockdowns got me out of shape, but that was good. We did one on Saturday, and we're probably going to continue on Saturday. But we did another one today as well, with being May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you, all that sort of stuff.
May the 4th, yeah.
But yeah, look, it was a good weekend. Man, I just, like I said, not a lot's changed besides my work. I was on a weekend, we still do gardening and all that sort of stuff. So things still got to get done, mate. And so we're just getting doing them.
I've actually got one for you, Dion, because I've taken on this challenge: 25 push-ups a day for 25 days.
I've seen you in action, mate. You look pretty solid, to be honest.
Well, hey, you're going to be tagged next up.
Oh, okay.
I tell you, it's been really good for me, this challenge, because it sort of makes you take responsibility and makes you commit a little bit to something that you might think that's, that's 25 push-ups a day or whatever. But it's actually, it's about doing the 25 push-ups, which is, it depends how good of nick you're in, and I struggle a bit to do the 25. But then you've got to come up with other ways to, make them look a bit better. You know what I mean? Like by the sea, or like whatever it is. So it has been challenging, but it's been really, really good for me, for my mindset.
Yeah.
Mate, look, I'll you tag me, I'll do them. I've got no problem with that. They might be ugly and very slow, but I'll do them. But look, I think you're right, mate. I think it's about consistency. I think that's the whole point. When people set these challenges on Facebook for a month, I think it's about that whole consistency, making you accountable for at least one thing every day.
Yeah.
And I think if we make ourselves all accountable, I think we'll be in a lot better places than what we are now as well. But mate, like I said, you tag me, I'll do them for you. They won't be as pretty as yours, though, I don't think.
That's only a byproduct, you know that, Jack. Deon, he hasn't told you that it's actually for mental health, mate. It's for...
Oh, yeah, no, I've seen that. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
PTSD, I think it might be as well, or something like that. But
absolutely, yeah.
Oh, definitely. I'm a big advocate for mental health, and particularly men's mental health. And I'll throw, if you, like I said, you throw my hat in the ring, I'll be there to support it, mate. So, like I said, it's men's mental health in particular is a great passion of mine, and this time is difficult. But like I say, brothers, stick in there, and take Hopevale as an example that stuff can still happen. Like the three of us know that we're there for each other to call on and to whatever message, and I think that's what we all got to do at this time, is find our mates and our family and friends to call on.
Yeah, I think spot on, Dion, and like as we've said over the last few episodes of us being yarn, and like some of us are lucky because we have got like our kids and our partners as well with us, so it's not as lonely as some of those fellas and girls that are living on their own and in isolation, true isolation. You know what I mean? So we do have to keep checking in with them, and look, I mean that push-up challenge is something that it's done for mental health, So, and I know that's all really, it's something that's really close to all of our hearts. So, so it is something, it's a bit of fun and it's a bit of a challenge, but it is something that keeps reminding us that mental health, those mental health issues are out there.
Yeah, definitely, mate. We got a message from Patrick Wayne, and he was really talking about what you just talked about there, Jack, and definitely check in on people, and that if you know someone that has been kind of isolated themselves for a long time, and now this is kind of isolation on bloody steroids, really. It's very difficult. At least check in on people, reach out if you need a hand, or want to speak to someone. Just make sure it's you do that, and look after yourself is the biggest thing, I think. And especially your health. Staying away from people if you like, or try not to get in places where you could be at risk. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it really is that thing about like looking after ourselves first, because again, it's not about being selfish or anything like that. But if we can't look after ourselves, then we're not able to look after our loved ones and our communities and that sort of thing. So we do have to put, some emphasis on looking after ourselves and, and doing that little bit of work, whether it be in the garden or a fitness work or whatever it is, just to clear our minds, ground ourselves again and do those sort of things, So and we all know what it is that grounds us. So if we could be doing some of those little things, I think it goes a long way to help with our mental health as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, guys.
Yeah. That's
I think another one of those things we can all sort of practice is a bit of patience. Don't be eager to get back into things full steam, and I think we all know deep down inside this will all pass at some point, and how life will look, I'm not sure, but practice a little bit of patience, especially when we're out in the shops. Bunnings has been a hot spot for me since the last 4 or 5 weeks. Doing some jobs around the house, but just showing some patience there as well. Look, it's you're going to get what you get when you can get it. There's whether I get it now before you or for someone else, it doesn't really matter. Just practice a little bit of patience and take a little bit of stress away.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, everyone's in the same situation, so
yeah, definitely.
You can either get a bit stressed out about a lot of stuff or take it easy. Take your time, and you've got plenty of time to do stuff. I mean, one of the things that we talk about, we're kind of a lot of us are kind of fortunate that we've got family around us all the time, and sometimes that, and we're talking about all the time now because it really is 24/7. We're kind of with them all the time, so sometimes we've got to take a bit of time out ourselves to sort of get our mind straight and a little bit of clarity in terms of what we do. What's our role? But also find a few things that you might want to get done that you haven't done. Like I know, Dion, you've been flat out cleaning up the house and organising stuff and whatever. Some of those jobs you probably put off for quite a long time. So things like I'm reading reading books again, and I find that I read a chapter a day, so I'll get through pretty quickly with the book over time. So that's something that I'm sort of I'm enjoying at the moment because it's we can use the time to sit at home and feel a bit down about a lot of stuff, or we can look at it and say, well, okay, where do I want to be when this thing's over? When all this isolation stuff's over, and what can I do to do that? I mean, it might be, like I said, it might be just reading a book or watching a YouTube video, video of some, I don't know, it could be anything, mate, someone singing or
that's right.
some artwork or making something or adding things or planting plants and growing, vegetables, all that sort of stuff. So could be a whole range of things that we haven't been able to do, and we need to find a way to do them.
Absolutely. And I think it's really important, CJ and Dion, that what you fellas were saying before about the patience, because people in the shopping centres and those sort of things, they are scared. They got the uncertainty happening. So as Dion said before, be patient and say good day and still give everyone a smile and those sort of things, and just be that little bit patient because it will go a long way to helping ease someone else's mindset as well.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I think that I found today I went shopping with the wife and get some groceries and stuff, and and it dawned on me when you're talking like that, and Dion, you were saying as well that I found that some people, especially older people, will give me a bit of a wide berth, and I'm thinking, hold on, what's going on there? But it's just that distancing stuff, these older people are, of course, all kind of vulnerable to this stuff, and they want to, make sure that they don't. Well, we don't know, do we? Who's got COVID and whatever, So they're taking a wide berth, and now I understand. I thought it was a bit strange. I said, "Oh, what's that bloke on about?" But hold on, he's trying to stay away from me, and I should be staying away from him, sort of stuff. So it was. yeah, you can actually, mistakenly think otherwise.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely,
Yeah.
brother. We've got a few more comments there. Let's see, a few more comments. Someone's going to cook dinner, I think.
Oh yeah. That's Richard Weston.
Richard Weston.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard, how are you, brother?
Yeah, and Patrick Wayne, he said to tell you that he's got his guitar going again, mate. So,
He's going to have to play us a song one night, isn't he?
oh yeah, definitely, Ray.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you, Wayne Turner.
Oh yeah, what's doing? John's actually cooking Korean or something.
Johnny Riley, he's likes his cooking, doesn't he?
Oh wow, pretty creative these blokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Far from the Vegemite and taste I'm having tonight.
Hey,
Yeah, we've probably got to take off and start looking at some dinner, mate. So
yeah, good on you, mate. Thanks, Dion.
no, it's all right.
Yeah, thanks.
Pleasure, mate.
We might get you back in a couple of weeks just to tell us how you're going and what you're up to, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, no worries, Jack. That'd be good. Look, anytime. It's a pleasure for me to be on with you guys tonight. And I just got to fend one of my kids off here. Just hang on 2 seconds.
What is he
Got to
doing?
fend off
Who's
one of
that?
my kids. But it's no. Look, it's a pleasure. Like I totally enjoy this kind of stuff and talking about stuff that's relevant. And in particular, it's going to help men out, I think. So pleasure being on here, and I'm glad you asked me. Like I said, Jack, you tag me in the push-ups, I'll do them for you.
You're on, brother. You're on.
But thanks again for having me on, and keep it going. And just give me a hoy when you want me to come back on.
Love it, brother. We
All
might
right,
get
brother,
talk a little bit more about that mental health first aid as well. Hey.
Yeah, pleasure. That'd be awesome. Awesome.
Cheers, Deon.
Thanks, guys. Take it
Good on
easy.
you, mate. Thanks very much. Yeah. No, he's definitely a bit of a champion, old Dion. He's he's I call him a young bloke, but he's got a good head on him, and he's in it for all the right reasons, I suppose, especially the work that he does around mental health and communities, remote communities around Australia. So, I don't think a lot of people know. I've got to tell you a story, Jack, about Dion.
Yeah.
We did some work down in Sydney. I think it was last year or the year before. Might have been last year. No, year before, actually. We went down to this conference, and we're coming back, and it was around the start of the year, and we went to a men's conference, and we were just back at the airport lining up, and there was all these people there. And what it was why the people were there was because a couple of English teams from the Super League.
Oh, yeah.
Some trial matches, against some of our local NRL teams and stuff. And they brought along all of their supporters, So we're lined up with all these English people waiting to get on a plane. And me and Dion are just quietly just sort of moving, shuffling along, towards the check-in. And we started talking to this bloke and this English chap, and he said, something about... we're here to watch, I think they were Widnes or Wigham or something like that, play against the St. George Dragons or Cronulla.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so, he said, there's about 1,000 of us that come over to support our teams. And he said, Dion said, I thought so much because, I used to play over there. And the bloke looked at him and he said, you're Dion Bird, aren't you? Like that.
Oh, deadly.
12 or 13 years over in England playing.
Yeah.
And he played at the top level and for a number of clubs. And this bloke recognised him, and then he was yelling out to all the people in line and stuff. He's saying, "Hey, we've got a celebrity over here. It's Dion Bird."
That's beautiful. I'm sure you've seen that.
What? Unbelievable. So, he's well known over in England, that's for sure.
That's beautiful, yeah. It's really good story too, Charlie, to finish with Dion on tonight, with amazing work he's doing. Communities and just a little bit about himself. He's a pretty humble fella, so he's not going to talk about that, is he? So, yeah. So
no, he won't say anything, mate. That's why I thought I'd throw that story in. That's my story. Not his story. That's my story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But isn't that how good's that? Those guys up in Hopevale getting back together again now. If it wasn't for the guys asking the police and the health officials up there if they could do it, it may never have happened. You know what I mean? So they had to reach out to say, look, we really need to get together. Us men need to support each other. And they it was either going to be yes or no, and it was yes.
Oh, it really is. Like hats off and congratulations to those guys for being so innovative. So they cop a lot of negative stuff, in the press and all that sort of stuff. But I mean that them just getting together and practicing that social distancing and all that sort of stuff, and just to be able to have a yarn and feed together and talk about concerns and issues is fantastic for those fellas. So maybe we can take that, they'll take the lead, and others can start to do that as well now. So fantastic.
Absolutely. It's great to hear that there's a few guys up there cooking dinner as well, and there's a few wives and partners out there doing the same thing. So hopefully, a great dinner tonight, guys, and look after yourselves. We'll be back on Friday. So, but before we get there, Jack, what's the challenge for this week?
The challenge, Charlie.
Well, what do we want to do? What's the goal? What are we planning?
Half marathon?
No.
Is that out of our reach?
No, out of my reach.
Well, actually, I do have to say we just started training for a half marathon. We're doing a training program that'll get us there by the end of August. So our challenge for us is to be able to, that's me and Lisa, we want to do our first half marathon. So we've just started the training program to be completed by the end of August. So hopefully any time around there, once all the social isolation stuff's gone, we'll be able to get into our first ever half marathon. So that's our challenge.
Yeah, okay, mate. That's good. That's great. Hey, listen, now I'm gonna bake something.
Yeah.
And thankfully your missus, Lisa, has sent me the recipe she loves for banana bread.
Yes.
So I'll get some of that done.
Gluten free too, Charlie.
Gluten free, and I'll catch you up down there at that coffee shop.
Yep.
One morning we'll have some banana bread with that coffee bun.
I'll tell you what I'll do, brother. We just got some new chooks, so I'll bring you some eggs in exchange.
Yeah, do that, mate. I'll probably run out of eggs. Yeah, we need a couple of eggs for that bloody that recipe, I think. Yeah. So this is my step towards cooking that cake down the track. So I'm going to practice this, use it as a practice session, I suppose, to see how it turns out.
I hope Carly Atkinson's listening, because she was pretty disappointed first up when you said you were going to cook something and it never happened, brother. So just keep it on your back for Carly. So
keep it on your back for Carly. Patrick Wayne, he's cooking. Must be bully beef, but he's cooking Darky's Delight for dinner.
Look out, yeah. It sounds like Wayne, eh?
Bit of bully beef.
I do have to send a special cheerio to Wayne Turner too, because he's gone through a bit of a hard patch in the last few months with ill health and some suicide in the family as well. So all the best to you, brother boy. You're always there for a yarn and that. So yeah, all the best to you, brother.
Yeah, mate. Take care, buddy. Take care, brother. Look after yourself there, mate. We've got to, a lot of our fellas, like you say, there's a lot of people out there that are, having a hard time of it, and all we can wish them is the best, and stay positive, I suppose. This is all going to end.
Yeah.
Later.
Who said that? Charlie, give up coffee for 1 week.
Who said that?
Yeah, who said that?
Certainly wasn't my barista. Patrick Wayne.
Oh God, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't say I can't do it, but I can do it. But I love me coffee, so
it'll be a dry old argument eating what I'm going to cook.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
there's some sort of fluid.
I'll get back to you on that one, Wayne. Yeah, no, all good.
All good, mate.
I just want to thank everyone for listening and
Yep.
joining in with us. And like we had some fantastic comments this tonight, and like especially to those lads up at Hopevale for what they're doing, with their men's group, getting it back together. I think fantastic, and I think that's an idea for some of our other lads and girls to be able to start to get their groups back together as well.
Yeah, definitely. And look, ladies, we'll have a number of ladies that'll be guests
Absolutely.
for over time. So bear with us. We really want to have, a wide variety of views, I guess, and things, information about what's been, what you've been doing over, what women have been doing to support the family, just as we do with men. So yeah, stick with this, and we'll have someone on board. Maybe not after Friday, but next week,
next Monday, and we've got a couple of crackers lined up too. So we won't tell you who they are, but we've got a couple of crackers lined up, and I think it'll be.
Yeah. So, but who we got on Friday, mate? Have you got someone organised?
We've got Dwayne Bannon Harrison, who from down at Nowra, who is doing some absolutely amazing stuff with his men's work and cultural awareness program as well. So yeah, it'd be really good to have Dwayne on. And I actually did a podcast with him today, CJ. Around his podcast is called Bring Back the Warrior. So look, fantastic lad, and look, I look forward to having him on, and I know you'll love him, CJ.
Good stuff. No, we'll be looking forward to Dwayne to come on Monday. Dwayne, about you, so no pressure.
No, we're good. Dwayne's coming on Friday, and then we've got a special guest on Monday night. So beautiful.
Right. Beautiful. All right, thanks, guys. Look, thanks, Jack. Good catching up with you, mate.
Well, as always, CJ, you're an absolute champion. Love what you're doing. Love what Deon's doing. Keep doing what you're doing, because it's so good to see, and like it brings a smile to my face every time I see you.
Yeah, actually, it has been great, and we had Adam Wooding on last week, and on last Friday, and that was fantastic. Great yarn with him, and again tonight it was really good. So I hope everyone sort of enjoyed listening in, I guess, and been able to take some sort of little things away. We certainly are inspired by what you guys are telling us as well. So it's a bit of a two-way street, this particular thing we're doing, and it's important that not only we tell you what's happening, but you tell everyone else as well. It's get in there and in the comments. Have anything you think of that we could probably talk about. If there's a particular topic that you'd like to know, or a question that that hasn't been answered, I'm sure that Jack will be able to answer it.
That's my line, brother. That's my line.
I
was going to say you beat me to it. I was going to say Charlie.
Good on you. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We're signing out. Have a good week. Monday. We'll be back on Friday. Check us in. I think it will be about 4:30. Was it, Jack?
4:30, brother. Yep.
And Friday. And listen, before I go, I just remembered Friday is Friday the 8th, so it's kind of like May the 8th, Mate Day.
Mate Day.
So remember that. The other thing that's happening in online from Brisbane is the Meanjin markets will be going viral, so they'll be going online.
Maybe we can put those links up again too, CJ.
Yeah, I will. I'll put some links up about the Meanjin markets. You can check out their Facebook page. Check in. There'll be a number of businesses selling some great products online, but also some great performances. We've got some terrific performances. Of course, there'll be a traditional welcome to country at the beginning of this on Friday morning. So if you're about Friday morning, set your clock. I think it starts around about 9 o'clock, around 9:10. And there'll be a traditional welcome, but plus also some Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander performances as well. So to start the 2 days off, so it should be fantastic. Really looking forward to it. And of course, don't forget at 4:30 on that Friday, we'll be back here.
No worries. Beautifully said, CJ. Thanks everyone for joining in. As Charlie said, leave us a comment. Leave us a topic that you want to have a yarn about. And tell us if you want to come on and join us as well. We'd love to have any of yous on, just to have a yarn with us. So thanks again. Over and out from CJ and JB. See you Friday.